I'm about to show you something that might completely shock you. On my screen right now is the current Gymshark website. Yes, that Gymshark, the billion-dollar fitness brand. Now, I know what you might be thinking, that Arsh, Gymshark is such a massive brand, they're probably crushing it. What could they possibly be doing wrong on their website? Well, I'm going to show you how even a massive brand like Gymshark is leaving a serious amount of money on the table with their current existing website. My name is Arsh, and I've helped dozens of e-commerce brands generate millions of dollars in incremental revenue just through conversion optimization. So in this video, I'm going to break down all of the critical flaws in the Gymshark website, all of the conversion killers that are lurking in their product pages, and the navigation and checkout issues that are costing them a ton of sales. But I'm just not here to criticize, so I'm going to show you exactly how I would fix these issues on their website to skyrocket their conversions and generate them millions of dollars in incremental revenue. So whether you're running a massive brand like Gymshark or you're just starting out, stick around till the end of the video where I'll actually show you how you can apply all of these tips to your e-commerce brand. All right, so we're going to start with the homepage of the Gymshark website, and specifically the above the fold or the hero section. Now, this is the part that most e-commerce brands neglect, including Gymshark. And the one thing you have to understand is that statistically, 60% of people will never end up scrolling past this section. So the main issue with the before version on Gymshark's website is that the hero section just takes up a ton of unnecessary real estate, and it's just pushing down effectively all of the content underneath the fold. All of the content, the bestsellers, it just pushes down all of that information. Especially on mobile, you always want to have a little bit of white space just to indicate that that section is actually scrollable in the first place and that there's actually more to the page as well, right? The issue is that the entire banner is just being taken up by the hero section, and subconsciously it just leads people to believe that there's nothing else to the page and can often lead an immediate drop off. The other issue with the before version on Gymshark is all of the conversion fundamentals that we typically want on a website are not really present. So here's what I would do to actually increase Gymshark's revenue per visitor. One of the first big improvements is exposing the search bar on mobile instead of hiding it behind this little search icon on the before version. A lot of brands will tend to do this on mobile, and Gymshark actually does this correctly on desktop, right? They have the exposed search bar menu, but they fail to carry this over, like many other brands, to their mobile version. It kind of follows the notion in UX design that anything that is hidden tends to be less clicked or not seen at all. So what we've personally found after working with numerous high traffic e-commerce websites is that, especially for stores that have a lot of products, making the search bar super accessible is critical to getting people to find the right products that they're looking for and ultimately facilitating a conversion action in the first place. What we also find when auditing websites is that people who search on a website are 2 to 4 times more likely to actually purchase a product and convert, as opposed to people that don't search at all, right? So especially for Gymshark, where they have over 2,000 products, not making the search bar prominent is a huge missed opportunity. The second big improvement is adding social proof above the fold and highlighting the fact that Gymshark has such a massive customer base of 10 million plus happy customers. Now, I know what you might be thinking, that Gymshark is such a massive brand. Do they really need to highlight social proof at the top? And I think that this logic is flawed, right? I think people's attention spans are super low, and you need to give every bit of effort, no matter how big the brand is, and every bit of motivation to consumers to actually incentivize them to engage on the site and complete the conversion action you want them to complete. So I think even a brand as massive as Gymshark, if they highlight that massive customer base that they have, it'll still go a long way to get people to engage on the site, click on the CTA buttons, and actually convert at the end of the day as well. So the third big improvement, and this is possibly the biggest improvement that we made, is we've consolidated the hero section banner and basically brought up all of the content above the fold, right? So we got rid of the unnecessary real estate, and what that has done is basically allowed for 2 main things, right? Number one, we've allowed ourselves to fit a ton of more conversion focused content on the page. We can now fit the trust badges, the reduction of FUDs, highlighting the return policy, all above the fold. And number two, what it has done is allowed us to bring the sales faves or the best sellers above the fold, right? Previously on the before version, it was completely hidden. I would actually have to scroll just to find that information. But by having the best sellers immediately visible above the fold, people are way more likely to actually engage with that section, click on a product, click through the navigation, and ultimately convert on the site. Also, as part of the hero section, we made the title on the banner a lot more prominent in font size and color and contrast, in absence of that large banner at the top of the site on the before version that was just taking up a ton of unnecessary real estate. The last big improvement that we did is reduction of FUDs, right? FUDs is a concept in conversion optimization, which basically stands for fear, uncertainty, doubts. And our goal is to try to reduce FUDs as much as possible near the critical points of action, right? So in this case, the critical point of action is the homepage, right? This homepage hero section will literally dictate whether people want to continue engaging on the site or not, and if they want to continue viewing products. So we focus on things like highlighting the return policy, the fast shipping, the premium quality of the products that are built to last. And again, the purpose of this is just to alleviate these anxieties very early on in the journey, and also reintroducing these items later on in the user journey at the critical points of conversion. Moving over to the navigation, one of the biggest downfalls of GymShark's before version in their navigation is that they really don't take advantage of one of the basic human psychological factors, which is that we are visual creatures. The human brain processes images 60,000 times faster than text, and 90% of information transmitted through the brain is visual. In the before version of GymShark's navigation, there's nothing inherently exciting or engaging that would actually motivate me to click on one of the navigation items. Not to mention that they already have a ton of navigation items as it stands, so it also makes it very difficult to differentiate between each of the different product categories as well. So if I was hired to increase GymShark's revenue per visitor and their conversions, what I would do is add little thumbnail icons next to each of these categories to help facilitate an easier decision-making process for users, given that they process these visuals or images a lot faster than text, right? And the second thing that what this accomplishes is it also adds an extra layer of engagement for the users itself, right? By having those images present, it's just a lot more engaging and exciting, and actually incentivizes me to click on the categories as opposed to just skimming through a bunch of large blocks of text and navigation items that was on the before version. If you're an e-commerce brand watching this is one of those things that I recommend almost every single e-commerce brand to A/B test, because it's just so applicable for every single product, right? It's not just for apparel. I think it honestly works for a vast majority of products because it's just one of those basic human tendencies, right? We always prefer as humans to see images, see icons. It's just a lot more digestible as opposed to just plain boring text. So moving over to the product page, GymShark is leaving a massive amount of money on the table and committing a bunch of CRO sins when it comes to their PDPs, right? And these are all things that they can fix instantly. And I see this issue auditing tons and tons of websites all the time. So the first big improvement is that in the before version, GymShark uses these small little dots as their pagination for their product thumbnail images. And again, this goes with the same thing that we're talking about in the navigation, right? This is not really enticing, it's not really engaging, and there's nothing really motivating me to click through and view all of the different images just through these little dots or pagination. Now, when you compare that to the after version, what we did was we exposed all of these dots into actual product thumbnail images. That once again makes it a lot more exciting and engaging, and will actually motivate users to scroll through all of the different images. And the reason that this is important is what we often find when auditing websites and watching recordings of users on websites is that people often make a lot of their purchase decisions just off of the product images alone, right? So anything that we can do to actually get people to view more product images and help with their purchase decision is ultimately going to have a huge impact on conversions. What we find when auditing tons of websites and watching recordings of users on websites is that people will often rely on just the product images alone to make their purchase decision, right? They'll completely skim by all of the other text and everything else on the page, and they might just view the product images itself. And so what we're doing, and the importance of actually exposing the product images, is the more that we can get people to engage with the images and scroll through them and see different angles of the product, especially with something like apparel, it's going to be way more likely that they actually convert as a byproduct. This is again one of those things that every brand should test, otherwise you're just leaving a ton of money on the table. So the second big improvement on the product page is if you look at the before version of GymShark, there's just a ton of white space between different elements that's completely unnecessary. Guys, you need to treat your product page just like any other above the fold section on any other page of your website, right? You have to understand that the vast majority of people are never going to scroll past that section. So you have to try and present as much valuable information as possible above the fold without overwhelming users, right? I can't stress how important this is. It's complete make or break. And so we did exactly that, right? In the improved version, what we did was we removed the unnecessary white space and we tightened up all of the different elements above the fold so that we're able to fit a lot more information above the fold. And the other important thing that this has done is now you can see that the color selectors are also above the fold. Previously in the before version, you had to actually scroll down and basically scroll up and down actually to access this section, because when you change the color selectors, it also changes the product image at the top of the site. So now that this is all above the fold, it's a much better user experience as compared to what was there before. So number 3, we added a tag in the top left of the product, and this could just be used to highlight something like bestsellers or popular or something like new, and this just adds another layer of contextual relevance to the end user and just helps them give even more reason to purchase the product. Number 4, we added that also good social proof above the fold at the top of the website. Again, I don't care how big your brand is, even for a brand as big as Gymshark. As a user, I naturally just want to see reviews of the product. Does it fit my expectations? I want to see that front and center, top of mind. And the other thing that we did with the reviews is we made them underlined so that if people click on this, it'll actually take you to the full review breakdown that customers have left for this particular product. Number 5, we added the savings amount in a clear and prominent banner as compared to what was there before, which was no banner at all. And this is just the idea that we want to make it as effortless as possible for users to convert on the site, and we want to reduce the amount of friction as much as possible. So we don't want to make users do math, so we're actually telling users this is exactly how much you're going to save. So the 6th improvement is that in the before version, there was no value prop driven sections, right? No benefit driven sections explaining what the product is, what's in it for me, nothing like that at all. And again, I don't care how big your brand is. If I'm going to purchase a product, I want to have at least a little bit of an idea or description upfront as to what is the value prop of the product, what's in it for me, why should I actually purchase this product in the first place. So what we did was we added these 3 lines of text that actually articulate what the value prop of the product is and a little bit of the benefits of the product. And we also complemented this with some scannable icons that are basically value prop icons, right? So again, it's just showcasing all of the different value props of the product, such as the materials of the product, the comfortable fit, the keep dry technology in a more scannable format, because people tend to resonate with images and icons a lot more than text. So for the next half of the PDP, I would make a ton of different improvements to increase conversions. One of the first ones is that the biggest anxiety with purchasing things like clothing or apparel is, will the product actually fit me, right? What is the size guide of the product? And in the before version on Gymshark's website, the size guide is not prominent at all, right? It's kind of hidden. It's very subtle. It's in this little gray text off to the side. In the after version, in the improved version, we made the size guide a lot more prominent so that users cannot miss the section at all. And this is going to help a lot with users in making an easier decision-making process if they're able to see the size guide more prominently upfront. It's going to reduce a lot of the anxiety around fit and size. So the next critical change is that in the before version, Gymshark hides all of its reduction of FUDs, fear, uncertainty, doubts in the scrollable carousel section, which I can tell you based on heat map data, the vast majority of people never end up clicking. So instead, what we did is we put these badges out up front, right? And we scratched the whole carousel idea, right? We're highlighting the reduction of FUDs near the critical point of action. And these were the same FUDs that we had on the homepage, right? But now we're putting that underneath the add to cart button just to create that sense of congruency and alignment in the user journey. Again, the purpose of this is we're trying to reduce the anxiety around purchasing. We're highlighting the fact that you can return your product, it's going to ship fast, it's high quality, and it just helps users feel a lot more confident in their buying decision. The next big change is that we added some social proof and some images of influencers or, actual customers that use the Gymshark products and rep the brand. And the purpose behind this is, again, just building a ton more trust, a ton more credibility, just giving people that extra motivation to get over the edge and ultimately purchase the product. And the last big change is that we added some drop-down menus like size and fit that was completely missing from the previous drop-down menu. And these are things, again, that people are looking for when they're purchasing products. It's often one of their biggest anxieties that actually holds them back from purchasing products, particularly in the apparel and the clothing space. So whatever these anxieties are for you that you can typically collect through survey data or, user testing data, you want to make this upfront and top of mind for your users on your product page. So moving over to the cart, there's a lot of different things that Gymshark could be doing. In the before version, they have a free shipping threshold, which is, a great idea. This is going to get people to ultimately order additional products to effectively unlock free shipping. Now, one thing that they could do to take it a step further is add a free gift after the free shipping threshold. So in other words, after people unlock free shipping, if they order a couple more products and reach a certain amount in their cart, they would unlock a free gift. This could be something as simple as like a free t-shirt, a free water bottle, or some accessory products, whatever it is. That is going to get people to order more products and increase Gymshark's AOV, right? This is more of an AOV play, but that goes a long way to increasing revenue on the site. It's not always about conversions as well. So the next big change that goes hand in hand with that is upselling and cross-selling inside of the cart menu itself. What Gymshark actually does is they have a pop-up menu when you add to cart. And while this can be effective, the issue with the pop-up is that it disappears as soon as you add to cart. You either exit out of the pop-up or, you choose to add an item to your cart, but it's done there. Versus something like the after version that we've done where the upsells and cross-sells are present in the cart itself, right? People can basically browse other products as they're about to make that final purchase decision. And the last big change inside of the cart is in the before version of Gymshark, they have all of their payment badges and these little icons, present on the cart page. This is great, but it's also really overdone. And for a brand as big as Gymshark, it kind of seems a little bit, of a missed opportunity. Like people would assume that a brand as big as Gymshark would have a ton of different payment options. It's not really the best use of real estate inside of the cart. So what we would actually do instead to increase conversions is highlight their return policy underneath the checkout button itself, right? This is a lot more impactful because at the point of cart entry, people have a ton of anxiety around, do I really want to go through with this purchase? What if I don't like the product? Can I return it? So we want to make that policy up front and center at the critical point of action. So moving over to the collection page, in the before version, you can see that Gymshark has these large images at the top of some of their collection pages that doesn't really add any value to the user. Like I'm already going to see images of the product as I scroll down further on the page. And all this really does is it pushes down all of the valuable information beneath the fold, right? Seeing more products up front is critical to actually facilitating conversions. So what we did in the after version is we completely scratched the banner, right? So what this did was it brought up everything like the title, the body text, and it also brought up 4 products visible above the fold as compared to 2 that was shown in the before version. And this is absolutely crucial when it comes to conversions on the collection pages statistically. The more products that people can see up front on the collection page, the more likely they are to browse, to click on a product, and to ultimately convert. So the second big change, and this is something that, Gymshark would have to A/B test, and this is something I recommend you A/B test as well and look at your heat map data. But in the before version, Gymshark has this little button right next to filter and sort that basically allows the user to swap and toggle between a single product view where you can see all of the products one at a time versus a 2 product view. Now, in our experience, when we audit tons and tons of websites, we often see that this gets close to no interaction and it doesn't really help in facilitating a conversion action on a website. So in the after version, what we did is we swapped that out with a sort by feature where users can sort by bestsellers, price high to low, price low to high, etc., all up front. And previously this was hidden inside of the filter and sort button. So we're basically separating the filter and the sort action. And by default, we're sorting by bestsellers because if I'm a new user coming to the website, I want to go with what's already proven, what people are already buying, right? I want to go with what's the most popular. So we've A/B tested this numerous times and we've seen anywhere from a 30% increase in conversions to an 80% lift just from this one change. Third big improvement is we added those tags again on the product images where we're highlighting bestsellers, popular, new, anything to really help categorize a product. And it's just adding that extra layer of contextual relevance to aid in the buying decision for users. So the fourth big change is we added product thumbnails up front on the collection page itself, right? This is something that a lot of brands actually neglect, particularly their collection page. And when you think about something as visual in nature as clothing, apparel, people want to see different angles of the product up front. So we put that out up front. And again, this goes a long way. When you actually show images, you show thumbnails, people are way more likely to scroll through the product images. They're going to be way more likely to actually click on the products and ultimately convert as a result as well. This is something we've tested across numerous stores. We've seen anywhere from 20% lift in conversions on the lower end to sometimes even 60% plus if the product and target audience is very visual and images help a lot in the buying decision. Fifth big improvement is we added product reviews up front. Basically allows people to make a buying decision a lot faster, and it also just helps build trust and credibility up front. And number 6, instead of the little quick add to cart icon that's on the top left of each product image, we transform this into a button that's actually clickable. It's a lot more accessible and a lot more user friendly. So the last big change is the checkout page, which a lot of brands neglect, right? If you're on Shopify Plus, you can do a lot of customizations inside of your checkout menu, and Gymshark is most definitely on Shopify Plus. So the fact that they're not doing any optimizations here is a lot of missed opportunity. Simple change on the checkout page is near the Pay Now button. They have nothing underneath the Pay Now, no reduction of FUDs whatsoever. In the after version, we added in those trust badges that we had earlier in the product journey to just reduce those fear and anxieties around purchasing the product as that last step, right? To squeeze that extra conversion and just give users that extra bit of confidence to go and proceed with the transaction. So that's how I transformed Gymshark's website and make them millions of dollars in incremental revenue than what they're doing right now. You've seen the flaws in their current design and the exact steps that I take to fix them. And so you might be thinking, Arsh, this all sounds great, but can I really implement all of these changes on my own site? Well, you could try, but it's probably going to take a ton of testing, a huge investment in design and development, and probably a ton of expensive mistakes along the way. Plus, there could be changes that I didn't even cover in this video that could be the key to unlocking more revenue for your brand that you wouldn't even know unless it took a look and audited your site. So if you want to fast track your success with a team that has done this hundreds of times across virtually every e-commerce niche, that's where we would come in. At Thrillex, we specialize in transforming underperforming e-commerce sites into conversion machines. If you're serious about maximizing your online store's potential and working directly with us to optimize your site, here's what I want you to do. I want you to click the link in the description below to book a completely free CRO audit with our team and I. In the deep dive audit, we'll look at your current website performance, we'll identify the conversion blockers and conversion killers on your site, and we'll actually show you exactly how to improve them so that you can maximize your sales. So click that link in the description, book that audit, and I'll talk with you soon.